What is up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video, and as I promised, this one is going to be a Q&A. I'm answering your questions that you posted in my first video of the year. So, it's a pretty long list I've selected. The people that I have answered in the comments of that video, those questions will not be answered on this video. People that have gotten just one like and a message saying their question will be answered here, that means your questions will be answered in this video. So I've got the list here. We have about 18 questions and I'm going to try to get through all of them. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but it's probably going to be a bit. All right, first we have question number one from APQJ8QC. Interesting choice of name. So, which are the top 5 best-selling scooters in sim scooters in Romania? Well, that's actually quite simple. Because we have an emerging market for delivery, the best scooters that sell are actually 50 cc's, because those can be driven here legally on a car license. So topping the charts, I believe, is the Jet 14, and then the Symphony ST, the X Pro, the Jet 4 RX. The bigger scooters like the Cruise Sim, the Max Sim, they get up there, but they don't bring in the numbers like the smaller 50 cc's and 125cc scooters do. So your basic 50 and 125cc Symphony, Jet 14, Jet 4 RX, that kind of stuff. Next question. Bucharest bike traffic. My question is, when will we travel to Albania? Again? Traveling with you? Probably very time soon. I can't wait to get back on the road with Marius. We've had some pretty wacky adventures. Best of which is the road trip through Eurasia. I'll link, I don't know, up here somewhere. I'll link the full playlist to that. It's an interesting adventure and an interesting watch, because I did about 6,000 kilometers in 12 days with my little Symphony ST, including an iron butt at the end. That's 1,000 miles in 24 hours. That was an epic trip and a memory I will cherish all my life. So hopefully sometime very soon we'll get back on the road together. Third question. Hisham Hassan. Now, I'm sorry if I butcher your names, but I'm doing my best here. Hi Alex, would you please share the type grade of oil you are using in your Symphony ST scooter? Well, I use the basic sim oil that we have here, which is a 10W40, and I think it's a semi-synthetic oil. So, yeah, just a basic regular 10W40. Luis Carlos Arias 2126 asks, hi Alex, could you please check the Beverly 400cc and give us some advice about the BV400? I would love to test out other scooters. I have to wait for the summer until we get some test rides. I don't have any proper connections at other dealers, and because my channel is in English, Romanian dealers, I don't think are pretty fond of what I bring to the table, so they're not too eager to give me scooters to test. But when in the summer, when we do have events and when they do have like ride testing sessions, usually I take them out for a first ride. You've seen a lot of videos like that on my channel, and I really love to do them. So hopefully soon. Next one, David McLeish. Hopefully I pronounced that right. So glad to have you back. Any trips you plan don't have to be too far a journey. How about an Alex Romania tourist board trip to Transylvania, including Donny heading up or down the Transylvania road? Best wishes from Scotland. To answer the last part of the question, Donny has actually been on the Transylvania last year. The video is from last year. I'll put the thumbnail up here and try to put a link up here, I don't know. But yeah, look around my channel, because I have a video, I think it's called 125cc's on the Transylvania highway. And others, a tourist board trip to Transylvania or show you guys Romania, that is actually in the plan. I do want to do a lot more trips around Romania and show you the country, because I know a lot of you, 97% of people watching, are not from Romania. And I think it would be actually quite interesting for you to see my country. It's an interesting country once you get out of the big capital city. Next question. AZJan7835. Okay. Africa or Morocco will be cheaper for your next adventure, and it will be funny experience. Welcome to Marrakesh. I suspect you are from Marrakesh, or from Morocco at least. Problem with Morocco, it is in my bucket list to do. The problem with Morocco is I think it's about 5,000 kilometers by road from Romania to Morocco, and I have to cross countries like Slovenia, Italy, France, and Spain. And those countries have expensive fuel and expensive road taxes. So just getting to Morocco and back, I've calculated it's about 2,000 euros. Just getting to Morocco and back. So yeah, a 2-week trip to Morocco, that would be like a 3,000 or 4,000 euro ordeal, and honestly, I don't have that kind of money. If somebody wants to sponsor that kind of trip, I'm more than willing to take it. But yeah, currently I don't have that kind of money. All right, moving on. Question number 7 from JTH Omo 101, JTOMO. Hi Alex, what is the long-term fuel consumption of Donny? I'm surprised by my similar Scoot, 2.7 liters per 100 kilometers. Donny is a bit of a thirsty boy because I run him hard and I run him all year round, so he gets to be ridden a lot in the winter when fuel consumption goes up. Plus, I ride him long distance at higher speeds than he is economical at. So the long-term average for 44,000 kilometers is actually 3.6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a bit high, but I think it's pretty much okay considering how I ride him. Now, next question. Gergobos. What? Gergobosik? Something like that. And his question is, what do you think about aftermarket windscreen brands in fields of scooter? Which one of them is good? Which one shouldn't we buy? Well, I can't say which one you shouldn't buy, because my only experience with aftermarket windscreen for scooters is with the GV. The only windscreens I've had on my scooters is GV. So take what you want out of that. But I've never had an issue with GV windscreens. Yes, they do scratch over time, but usually they're not that expensive to replace every once a year or two. But yeah, I haven't tried other brands, so I can't say which one is good, which one is bad. All I know is I started with GV, and they've worked for me beautifully, and I've stuck with GV all this time, and I'm not looking to switch to another brand. Next question, number 9. Gergobozik again with another question. What kind of trucks, cars and other vehicles do you store on the shelves? Well, here we actually have my Lego collection. And I have trucks, I have bulldozers, I have a material handler. I do have a Ducati motorcycle, a Panigale. I also have speed champions, a couple of speed champions. So I got the classic Audi Quattro, the Skyline GTR from Too Fast, Too Furious, and a Countach, the classic Countach. And next on the list to do is actually the latest Audi e-tron Quattro. So yeah, plus I got a couple of old Lego sets up there from my childhood. A lot of Lego. This is basically the Lego shelves, the Lego bookcase. Moving on, Raresh Vintea. My question is how to start travel with my HD300. What to prepare, your first experience, tell me more. So how do you start traveling on a scooter or traveling in general? Well, scooters are basically pretty much maintenance free, so there's not a lot of things you have to do in preparation. If you go on trips less than 10,000 kilometers, be sure your transmission belt is in check. It's the distance you plan on traveling is within its range of within its lifespan that it still has left. Uh, Oil, have some spare oil because riding long distance at high RPM, usually engines do like to eat a bit of oil when riding at high RPM. Get a puncture repair kit, one of those plug kits, and some kind of air compressor to pump your tires back up in case you have a flat. What else? A couple of keys, a screwdriver, a couple of 10 mil, 14 mil. Especially I would take the specific key for your wing mirrors, because if they become loose and they start flapping about, you can tie them back up. And that's about it. A screwdriver, so something to repair flats, something to add a bit of oil in case your scooter eats a bit of oil, and something to tighten your wing mirrors and maybe your windscreen. Those kinds of tools. Otherwise, anything else basically isn't needed. On my trip to Eurasia, that's basically even the tire puncture repair kit we didn't need. Actually, I carried a lot of spares and a lot of tools, and all we did was change the oil once, and that was the only time the toolbox had to come out. So basically, I could have left with just a bit of oil and a 17 mil to undo the drain plug. But yeah, minimum preparation, honestly. Anything that goes wrong, you can find people to help you on the side of the road. Next question from Bulanguero. What? Bulanguero 82. Man, you have some some weird names, very hard to pronounce names. For the Q&A, let's see. What's your football team in Romania and why? Any teams you like follow in other countries? I don't follow football. I barely follow a bit of racing here and there, but I can't say I actually follow racing. If I catch a race on TV, then I'll watch it. Otherwise, no. And football, yeah, football is pretty big here, but I'm not a big fan. So yeah, unfortunately, no football teams. Next question. ZZT231GR. I'm guessing you're from Greece. Why didn't you use a sport variator? Why did you stop vlogging? Well, I haven't stopped vlogging. It's just I didn't have anything interesting to film. Everything I've had interesting to film, I filmed. And why didn't you use a sport variator? Because I don't have a sport variator, and plus I like my scooter to be reliable. And the reliability of sim OEM parts is a known quantity for me. So when I put a part on, I want to know how long that part is going to last me. I know there are a couple of upgrades and stuff like that from different companies, but I'm kind of an OEM guy and I stick to what the OEM put on the scooter. Next question, 13. Red Sorghum. If you still have the 50cc, you should alternate riding the scooters for your daily commute. When I had two scooters, I would do that to save on wear and tear on just one vehicle. If I didn't need a car for my job, I probably wouldn't have one. Unfortunately, I do not own my old Chewy 50cc Symphony ST. I sold them when I bought Donnie, my Symphony ST 200, and that's basically my only scooter. So for now, my only scooter. For now, I'll put it at that. But yeah, I only have one scooter to get around the city, and that's what I use on the daily. He's been my daily for, gosh, close to 3 years, and he's getting close to 45,000 kilometers. What a machine. Next question, 14. Stefan Treki. Let's see, where's the questions? What tires are good in winter? Purely winter tires. Is there an alternative to Michelin City Grip 2s? Well, I know there are a couple of tires that are specifically made for winterish climates. I personally never used them. Unfortunately, I've only used my Michelin City Grip 2s, so it's hard for me to say which tire is actually better because I only have proper experience with just one. So yeah, shop around, look at reviews, look at what other people have been using. If you're unhappy with the Michelin City Grip 2s, then look around, shop around. I've been very happy with mine, and I do not plan on changing anytime soon. And moving on to the final page, question number 15. Have you ever, oh, sorry, from Phil Daniels. Have you ever lived abroad? And if not, how is your English so good? I have never lived abroad, and my English is so good because I was born in 1988. And probably most of you don't know, but in 1989, Romania had its revolution, moving from communism into democracy. So when I was 1 year old, there was a revolution and Romania switched to democracy. Now, what that meant is that on Romanian television, as I was growing up being 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years old and so on Romanian television, we started to get Cartoon Network. But because Romania was just coming out of communism, a lot of things were not set up properly yet. Now, if you look on Romanian TV, you see cartoons that are doubled in Romanian. So basically, it's the original cartoon with Romanian language dubbed over, Romanian voice actors dubbing over the original cartoon. And children nowadays look at something like Scooby-Doo in Romanian. I didn't have that option. If I wanted to watch cartoons, they were only broadcasted in their native language, in their native English. So basically at 2 years old when I started watching cartoons, I was watching them in English. So I started learning both English from cartoons and Romanian from my parents, and living in Romania, of course, you learn your native language. But I basically learned English from 2 years old when I started to speak. The first time I was actually being taught English was at 8 years old in 2nd grade. And by that time I was fluent. Because I call myself bilingual. Because I've learned both Romanian and English at the same time. So I didn't have to wait to get to school and start learning English in school. I've basically just learned it from TV growing up. And now I basically watch every movie and every YouTube video and everything I watch in English. I never put subtitles on because my brain, when I speak English, my brain thinks in English. So that's how it's easy for me to speak. And that's kind of why I don't have a certain accent. I do have an American style of accent because the cartoons were like American cartoons. But yeah, I do have a bit of an Eastern European accent, but it's very hard to tell compared to other people here that speak English. Next question. Cătălin Joacasa, 452. Question, let's see. I would come with you in adventure Bucharest-Dakar by scooter. Do you think that a 200 or 300cc sim could cope with 14,000 kilometers of pressure? Thumbs up for your channel. 14,000 kilometers? My Symphony ST has 44,000 kilometers. Yeah, any scooter could easily do 14,000 kilometers. Like any Sim, Kymco, Zontes, Honda, Yamaha. If they're properly maintained, scooters will run for tens and tens of thousands of kilometers, some even going over 100,000 kilometers without any kind of issues, if they're properly maintained. Right, next question from Gergo Bozic, 1614. 2 more things came to my mind. You got a lot of questions answered in this video. 1. You always mention that you prefer heated grips, but what happens if someone doesn't have the opportunity to buy one? Are heated gloves good? Have you ever tried one, or maybe your friend or colleagues? Whenever I use my winter gloves, the end of my fingers freeze after 30 or 40 minutes, and I'm looking for a solution. And second question, okay, let's answer this first question. I use heated grips because I prefer heated grips, because heated grips basically warm up the palm of your hand, and that's where I find I get dexterity. I don't mind if I'm cold on the top of the hand. Problem is with, I do have a pair of gloves, Shout out to Odin MFG for my heavy heaters Baja. Again, not sponsored, paid for with my own money, but I do recommend this brand. Heated gloves. These are not heated gloves, but I'll give you an example. Heated gloves do not have a heating element right here. How about I get the proper glove? Do not have a heating element in the palm because it would wear down and it would break. So heated gloves are only heated on this side. Technically, the best option you would have is have a pair of heated gloves and you rest your hands on some heated grips. So you have heat here and heat here. That would be the best options. For me personally, I found that a bit of handlebar protection like some hand guards or something to take the wind off the top of my hand and some heated grips heating up my palm maintains dexterity for me, and that's all I've basically ever needed. And second question, one of your videos in the Trans-Eurasia road trip, you said that it is advised to use earplugs. What kind of earplugs are advised? There are tons of variations on the market. And does the use of earplugs affect how you hear the music, phone calls from your car door? The earplugs that I use are special motorcycle earplugs by Pinlock with special filters that only filter out high-pitched sound from the wind. They are a bit more expensive, but I do recommend them if you ride a lot. Otherwise, you can just use one of those small, very cheap earplugs, foam earplugs that you stick them in your ear that are basically one-time use but are very cheap. But if you ride a lot, long distance, then I would suggest those earplugs with filters because they filter out everything in terms of wind noise. But if you stop at a traffic light, you can hear people talking around you even with in your helmet and with your earplugs on. And plus, they don't modify the sound of your music through your headset. And last but not least, number 18, Jesse Messemer, 7257. Again, sorry for butchering your name. Can you tell us more about what your job title and responsibilities are? Does the shop encourage your videos, or are the videos more just your project and the shop just lets you borrow scooters? Well, as many of you know, I work at Sim Romania. It's actually going to be called something else, but because we don't import only Sims. So basically the company, the dealer that I work, imports into Romania Sim, Zontes and Daytona motorcycles and scooters. We get them from Greece, from Gorgoli Sesa. And in terms of my channel, the company where I work at doesn't encourage in the way of sponsoring my channel. I do get a salary for the job that I do, and my job description is technical consultant. Basically, I consult people that come into the showroom with everything that's related to the technical aspect of scooters and motorcycle, like engine specs and service intervals. And my background is in engineering, so I'm a pretty technical guy. And also I manage the spare parts department. Manage is a strong word because it makes me sound like I have a lot of people under me. When I say I am actually the lead manager of the spare parts department, of which I am the only member of the spare parts department. Yeah, so basically people order spare parts from me. I look into the books of the vehicles and I pull out the part codes and the part sheets. And I order parts from suppliers and then I sell them on to customers. And I also consult them on which parts they need, which specific parts they would need. I give them advice. If it's above my pay grade, let's say like that, or above my technical expertise, then I send them to the service department where our technicians take care of them. And in terms of the shop just lets me borrow the scooters, yeah, it's kind of a given because I have the keys to the place. I do ask for permission sometimes, but every now and then I get a bit of an idiot idea, and as I always say, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. But I've been working there for about 3 years, and they've been quite good to me. And yeah, we enjoy each other's company, all of my colleagues, and we do have quite a lot of fun at work. But yeah, that has been it. 18 questions from you guys. Let me know if you enjoyed this Q&A session, and let me know if you want to do it again. Probably next time I'm gonna post like a message on YouTube, and you can put your questions there, and then we're gonna go through them. So let me know down in the comments below if you like this kind of video, if you want to see it again, and I'll try to get something going. Until next time, guys, take care out there and ride safe. Bye!